Today is a great, wonderful, amazing, incredible day, and I'll tell you why, because it's a Swedish day. The Swedish songwriter who's running the music industry. Without further ado, let's get into this reaction. Let's go.
If you've heard songs like Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, Blank Space by Taylor Swift, or Dark Horse by Katy Perry, then you have heard the work of Max.
Let's put it back up.
If you've heard songs like Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, Blank Space by Taylor Swift, or Dark Horse by Katy Perry, then you have heard the work of Max Martin. Max Martin is a producer and songwriter behind 25 Billboard Hot 100 #1 songs, many of which he has written or produced. But since
he's an actual alien, I've heard about Max Martin, and I've been meaning to learn a bit more about him and like literally how he got started. Where does he get these ideas from? Because he's like a freaking pop machine. He's like a machine that just churns out hits, and he's Swedish. So I'm really interested to see what's going on.
Since Max Martin isn't on social media and doesn't do too many interviews, he's fairly mysterious and relatively unknown by your average music listener. So this had me wondering, who is Max Martin? Why is he so mysterious? And what are his secrets to making these hit songs? Well, today we are going to be looking into the mysterious man behind 25 #1 songs.
Do you know what's awesome? What he just said was that Max Martin likes to keep a low profile. He doesn't like to be in the public eye. He has created some of the biggest hits in the world, and yet he's kept his I can't say this word, anonymity. Is that the right word? He's anonymous. He's kept his life, his personal life, out of the public eye, and that is the perfect. He's got like the perfect life, because celebrities go through a lot of shit basically, and like the media trashes them, and they can't go out their house without people screaming and the paparazzi trying to take photos. He can go wherever he wants and no one's going to know who he is. Yeah, he's probably a multi-millionaire and he's created some of the biggest hits. That's an awesome life. I want that life.
Carl Martin Sandberg was born in 1971. Surprisingly enough, neither of his parents were musicians. Instead, his dad was a policeman and his mom was a teacher. He quickly fell in love with music, listening to his parents' music collection that consisted of artists like Elton John, Queen, The Beatles, Mozart, and more. His older brother was also very into glam rock, which gave him the short-lived dream of becoming a rock star. He said that at the time he listened to nothing but Kiss, and because of this music, he sang in multiple bands. In Sweden, they actually have a state-sponsored music education program, with about 30% of these students going to publicly funded music programs.
You have a state-sponsored music program. Oh my God. I grew up in the wrong country. I'm so upset. I love music. Love music. In the description, if you look in the description, I have a song that I wrote, which is out. It's funny, I'm doing Max Martin, and he's a songwriter. I'm also a songwriter. So there's a song that I wrote. It's like a dance song. It's quite simple, but it's good if you want to listen to it. But what I was going to say was, like, it's awesome that you have these extracurricular programs where you can do music and go to music schools, because I wanted to go to a music school. My parents were like, no, academics is important. The core subjects are important. You're not going to go to a music and performing arts school, whereas you guys encourage that, and I think that's awesome. And that is why you run the music industry, and you've churned out so many talented artists. I think this is awesome. Really great.
So Max took advantage of this by taking free private French horn lessons. He continued to learn other instruments like the drums, the keyboard, and more. Eventually, he joined a band called It's Alive with the stage name Martin White. But despite his love for metal, he also had a passion for pop music. He even said, "I couldn't admit to my friends that I liked it." Eventually though, after being in his band for a while, he met the DJ Dennis Pop in 1994.
Han sa att han behövde någon som kunde spela lite ackord och sådär. Vilket han hade fått för sig att jag kunde. Och så började vi då, vilket var en helt sjuk grej faktiskt. Det förändrade ju allting för mig. Alltså inte bara att han ens såg mig och tog upp mig in i sin värld. Det förändrade hela mitt liv. Jag hade ju aldrig suttit här och pratat med dig idag om inte vore för honom.
Dennis was an already successful music producer who had just recently founded Sharon Studios, which was a recording studio that would become a go-to for many popular musicians. Max's band would be signed by Sharon's record label, but Dennis really took a liking to Max. The two began working closely together, with Dennis acting as a mentor to Max. Dennis made sure to capitalize on Max's ability to write and produce songs, giving him a good understanding of the music studio rather than the stage. Dennis also suggested the stage name Max Martin instead of Martin White. Dennis Pop and Max Martin became an inseparable producer and songwriter duo.
Well, my name is Dennis Pop. This here is Max Martin, and we're one of the producer crews behind Ace of Base.
He's I can tell Max Martins is a not shy, but he doesn't like to be on camera. I can tell.
The first group that the duo worked a lot with was the Backstreet Boys. Max wrote multiple songs for them.
That wasn't the Backstreet Boys, that was just a picture of. That was NSYNC. I think it was.
The first group that the...
That's NSYNC. Is it NSYNC? Well, that's Justin Timberlake. Oh, no, it is the Backstreet Boys. It's the Backstreet Boys with Justin Timberlake.
Duo worked a lot with was the Backstreet Boys. Max wrote multiple songs for them, including the song I Want It That Way. The songs he wrote for them really helped put the band on the map.
Max and Dennis were responsible for the whole birth of Backstreet Boys, our sound. I think even kind of helping us find ourselves within our image, within whatever encompassed the Backstreet Boys was Max and Dennis.
At the time, the Backstreet Boys were signed to Jive Records, the same record company that in 1997 had just recently signed a girl named Britney Spears. They were looking for a songwriter to help her out, so they immediately thought to recruit Max Martin. Max had already written a song that he was holding on to. He first tried giving it to TLC and the Backstreet Boys, but after they rejected it, he thought that Britney would be perfect. And that song...
He tried to give it to TLC and the Backstreet Boys. Oh my God, what song is it? It's not Hit Me Baby One More Time, is it?
Song was Baby One More Time.
Oh my God. Guys, this man is like a musical genius, like a pop musical genius. Like he literally, if he hasn't been honored in Sweden in some way, like knighted, or I don't know if you do, maybe, yeah, you probably do knighthood because you have a monarchy. If he hasn't been knighted or something, he needs to be, because he is an absolute legend. This song, it was out of here, man. It was the biggest thing. And I'm not embarrassed to say this. I was only 9 years old. This was my first single. This is the first single that I went out on. Well, I didn't purchase. My mum purchased it for me because I liked the song. And I got it on CD. First CD I ever had was a Max Martin production. He's pretty awesome. I can't lie.
When the song was released in 1998, it became Max Martin's first #1 hit song, and to this day it is one of the best-selling singles of all time. Working with Dennis Pop, Max learned one of the first secrets to making a hit song. He learned that a song had to be recognizable in the first few seconds, meaning it had to be unique or catchy enough to the point that you would know the song right away.
No, we had this philosophy of, because he came from the DJ world, to, you know, and to keep people on the floor when you change the song, you had to, it couldn't be like, you know, what's this? It had to be something, he liked playing songs where they knew exactly what it was, just from the very start.
This is evident in Baby One More Time and plenty of his other hit songs. Right before Max released this song with Britney Spears, his mentor and friend Dennis Pop passed away of stomach cancer at the age of 35. Because of this, Max took over the...
Stomach cancer at 35? Oh my God, that's devastating. Cancer is devastating. I think everyone's been affected by cancer in some form of way. 35 is very young. That's the age I am. Touch wood. I feel like I need to go for a cancer screening or something. That's horrible. I guess, I wonder if he didn't pass away, would Max Martin be Max Martin though? Does that make sense? I mean, obviously it'd still be amazing. I mean, he wrote Hit Me Baby One More Time, but he would have carried on that partnership, I reckon. But this has kind of pushed him to be a solo producer, songwriter.
over the musical aspect of Sharon, as Tom Toloma took over the business aspect. After only a couple years though, Sharon was closed because Max wanted to experiment with other types of music without being shackled to the Sharon name. Max continued working with Britney Spears for a while, writing many of the songs on her next 2 albums. In 2000, he landed his second #1 song with NSYNC's song It's Gonna Be Me. During this time, he opened his own production company called Maratone in 2001 with Tom Toloma. Max was in high demand because of his work with Britney Spears, and because of this, he started working with tons of different artists. He was so successful by 2001 that he had people like Simon Cowell saying, "If you've got Max Martin as your writer, you have a better chance of having a worldwide hit than with anyone else." In 2004, Max began working with Dr. Luke, likely teaching him a thing or two as they would eventually become frequent collaborators, and they both helped create Kelly Clarkson's album Breakaway. One of the songs they worked on was Since You've Been Gone, which surprisingly didn't go #1. It was well...
Wait, what? Since You've Been Gone? Since You've Been Gone? That is such a tune. That's such a tune. It didn't go to #1. That's weird. Everyone knows that song. It's an awesome song.
While working with her that he experimented with more rock sounds within his pop music. He also aided in the creation of some of the songs on Pink's album I'm Not Dead in 2006. But 2008 is when Max Martin would really hit his stride. Max began working with Katy Perry and helped her create the song I Kissed...
That's Katy Perry. I Kissed the Girl, he's about to say. That's Katy Perry. She looks so different. So young.
Max Martin would really hit his stride. Max began working with Katy Perry and helped her create the song I Kissed a Girl, which would become his third #1 hit song. This song was also fairly controversial at the time, and it helped kick off his huge streak of success.
I was watching the news, clips from the States, where, you know, the news reporter was out in the streets like, "Oh, would you let your, you know, kids listen to this thing? You know, kissing girls, a girl kissing a..." And I was like, "Oh my God, this is going to be huge. This is amazing." They're asking the parents about these things. It's like, great.
That same year, he scored his fourth...
Trust a Swede to create a song like that. I love that. As in, like, you know, Swede, you guys have always been very progressive when it comes to sexuality and LGBT rights, which I absolutely love about Sweden. And trust a Swede to write a song that's controversial. And he's right. Like, when a song is controversial and people are speaking about it, it's gonna be a hit.
Fourth #1 hit with the song So What by Pink. He continued getting #1s with songs like My Life Would Suck Without You by Kelly Clarkson,
Girls.
3 by Britney Spears, California Girls and Teenage Dream by Katy Perry, Raise Your Glass by Pink, Hold It Against Me by Britney Spears.
These are some bloody mega hits. How do you churn out that many hits? Like, how do you do that? California Girls, a Teenage Dream, and Raise Your Glass. Oh my God, Raise Your Glass. Do you know what? All these songs remind me of university. This was like my coming of age. All these songs, incredible.
E.T. and Last Friday Night by Katy Perry, and many more. It seemed like
This is a pop genius.
Max had really found his formula for making a hit song, with his second secret being the significance of the melody over the lyrics. Since he isn't a native English speaker, growing up he always felt more of a connection to the melody rather than the lyrics, since he can't always understand them.
I think a lot of us growing up, not knowing the language, we gravitated towards those things that sounded cool, you know.
Yeah.
Something to that, the way we listen to a lot of Swedes, I think or actually outside English-speaking countries, you listen to the sound and you make up what it's about. I believe that the sound of a melody is crucial. I think a great melody can be ruined by a bad sounding lyric.
Max and many others.
He's completely right. That's how I write songs as well. I'm no Max Martin. Just let me preface that. If I was, I wouldn't be on YouTube. I'd probably be a famous songwriter. But I do songwrite, and I always write the melody first. I always think of the melody first, and then I place the lyrics within the melody. Probably how his process is as well. Why I do that, even though I'm an English speaking person, I don't know. But melody is so important. If it's catchy, which the song in my description is, so go listen to it. It's just a shameless plug. But if it's catchy, it's gonna do well.
Others attribute this approach to his success, as the melody and the way in which the artist sings it is much more important than the actual lyrical value. For example, with the song I Kissed a Girl, Max said he didn't even understand why the song was so controversial.
For me, coming from here, that's like, yeah, you know, it doesn't matter, I guess. But it turned into this whole thing in churches, and you know, they went bananas. Yeah. So it was brilliant.
So it seems like Max being from a foreign country and not being a native English speaker has helped him achieve a different perspective on music than many of us may have, and doing so allows him to create some hits. But even after all of the hit songs from 2008 to 2011, Max was not done. He continued putting out number ones consistently.
My God. Okay, so 2011, Part of Me, One More Night. We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. Are you kidding me? And you know Taylor Swift is Taylor Swift. Wow. See, Raw, Dark Horse, Shake It Off. Bad Blood. This man is, he's kind of insane, isn't he, for his songwriting? Can't Stop the Feeling. Blinding Lights. Guys. If Sweden have not knighted this man, come on, Sweden, what are you doing? I'm sure you have honoured him, but I mean, I don't know if I know another songwriter producer that has created this many hits. Maybe Quincy Jones? No, not even Quincy Jones. Maybe Pharrell and the Neptunes. They've written a lot for Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, various singers. But there's not many people that are very close to what Max Martin has done. The variety as well. Wow.
With songs like Part of Me by Katy Perry, One More Night by Maroon 5, We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together by Taylor Swift, Roar and Dark Horse by Katy Perry, Shake It Off, Blank Space, and Bad Blood by Taylor Swift, Can't Feel My Face by The Weeknd, Can't Stop the Feeling by Justin Timberlake, Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, Save Your Tears by The Weeknd, and My Universe by Coldplay. With all of these songs, that makes 25 number one hits from Max Martin from 1998 to 2021. This ranks
Wow.
Max Martin as the third songwriter with the most number one singles.
Wow. After Paul McCartney and John Lennon. Wow. And the thing is, he's catching up. He is catching up. I don't know when this was recorded. I think this is. I might have a look at the end of the videos to see if he's still number 3. But I mean, he's a couple of singles away from knocking. Well, there's a couple of singles away from knocking John Lennon off, and then a few more after that to knock Paul McCartney off. And he's only in his early 50s. He's still writing songs. I think he's going to do it. Mariah Carey, though, let's put some respect to Mariah Carey's name. Wow. She sings like that. And she wrote all her songs. All her hits. Wow. Mariah Carey. Anyways, let's continue.
Right below Paul McCartney and John Lennon. He's also received 11 Songwriter of the Year awards as well. But there's something about all of the songs I just listed that helped them become big hits. And that is Max Martin's third secret to writing a hit, which is simplicity.
We'll go and like try and hash out the lyrics, but his melodies are so incredible and so sophisticated but simple.
I think that Max's secret is probably something along the lines of the simplest, most effective thing is always the best.
I think what he's great at is stop, take a deep breath, simplify.
Max Martin often emphasizes how important it is to keep the song simple if you want to have a pop hit. He strives to make a song that everyone can enjoy, and he does just that.
I think that's my job, or our job when we work with these people, is to kind of make them believe that that's enough. Don't worry about it. Everyone knows you're amazing. So that's the challenge, to really make them feel secure that it's okay to just sing and concentrate on, you know, hopefully getting great lyrics and tell the story. It's enough.
Wow. Keep it simple. Because sometimes songwriters, we over analyze what we do and keep it really, really simple. The song that I wrote for the girl that's in the link, sorry to plug it again, I wrote a really, really simple Really, really simple lyrics. It's probably might be too simple. I don't know. Let me know what you think to it. It's a housey kind of song, kind of thing. But I think those are the most catchy, and they get in your head and they stick in your head, and they're the best songs because people are singing it all day, and they're like, oh, I remember that song, and they play it again and they play it again, and that's how you get big hits. Wow. That's why
a YouTube channel called Learn Audio Engineering ran some numbers on Max's hits and discovered that musically speaking, in terms of chords and keys, his songs were all fairly simple. Max Martin's #1 history is impressive, and that's what most people focus on. But honestly, I think his overall chart history is also astounding. I recommend checking out this video, and I'll link this in the description as well, because pretty much every popular song I've ever heard is on this list. I was watching it and I was blown away to see how many songs he had writing credits on. But one thing we have not answered yet is why Max Martin is so mysterious.
I managed to hide between 2 speakers in a basement for over 20 years. And then you did this. Thanks a lot.
He rarely does interviews, hardly goes to music industry events, and he doesn't even use social media. And that's because Max Martin is scared of fame. Recently, he worked on a musical called & Juliet, and as the interview began, he said, "I'd rather not do this." And he further explained, "I've always been scared of fame. I've seen it up close, and I don't think it's healthy." And it makes a lot of sense for someone who's constantly around famous people and sees what they have to go through. Fellow Swedish artist E-Type says, with his own demos, Max Martin singing himself, those would have sold 10 million or more. But he wasn't an artist. He didn't want to be an artist. Max Martin...
Amazing. Amazing. Very Swedish. It's so funny, right? That his temperament, from all I've learned about Swedes, and you know I love you guys, his temperament is very Swedish. Like, I don't really want to be in the spotlight. I don't want all this fuss on me. I don't want that. Like, he's like, and it takes a strong person with a lot of humility and a lot of kind of, like just someone who doesn't care about the frills, less ego. It doesn't seem like he's got a big ego. Someone who has a big ego wants the spotlight, wants the attention, wants the fame, wants the admiration, wants people to know who they are and be like, yes, give me all the praise. And it sounds like he's not really interested in that. He just loves music and creating great music and hits, and that's like the perfect person. Wow. That's amazing.
Martin is a songwriter and a producer who has mastered his craft, and he loves doing it. He doesn't care about the fame and the fortune, he just cares about making a good product. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. This is Matty Balls. I hope you guys enjoyed. I thought this guy was super interesting, and it's cool to see all the things he's done and the way the music industry works. Really interesting and fascinating to me. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did down below. Other than that, this has been Matty Balls, and I'll see you guys.
Yeah, so make sure you subscribe to him. This was a really well done a little documentary piece on Max Martin. Max Martin's incredible. I will reiterate that. He is incredible. He's an asset to your country. He seems like a nice person and someone who has like not a big ego as well. And the talent to know when something is enough. Isn't that lagom? Isn't that lagom? He's very Swedish in everything that he does, because he knows when, like, he says not too much, just the right amount. We want song lyrics, but not too much song lyrics. We want a good melody, but reel it back. It's fine. Like, I bet he's such a great person as an artist to be in the studio with, because I bet he is good at direction, but he's not overbearing. I just think he's a great guy. And you can tell I like Max Martin. The hits, I'm just blown away by that. Let me know in the comment section if you knew that this guy had written, one of your own, had written all these songs. Let me know in the comment section below. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Until the next one, I will see you very soon.